A lot of people think Langley is the perfect, safe family city. Then they move here and get hit with all the stuff nobody warned them about. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what's real, what's hype, and what it means for your move. Stick around till the end because I'll give you the checklist that stops buyers from choosing the wrong pocket. Langley is one of the most searched and one of the most moved to areas in the entire Fraser Valley. And it's easy to see why. Families want space, buyers want value, investors want demand. But if you've ever heard someone say, "I'd never live in Langley," or "Langley is overrated," that's not random. Those statements come from some real pain points. The biggest mistake is treating Langley like it's one place. It's not. You got Langley City, Township of Langley, and a bunch of pockets that feel completely different. Today, I'm breaking down the real reasons why people hate living in Langley, what's actually true, and how to avoid buying in the wrong version of Langley that fits your lifestyle. For quick market context, in January 2026, the Fraser Valley Real Estate Board showed Langley had 145 sales, 596 new listings, and 1,260 active listings. For benchmark pricing, Detached was at 1.505 million, townhouses were at 814,000, and apartments were at 553,000. So the translation is there's still choice and there's still some price pressure, but you still need to be surgical about what you buy and where. So now we're going to go over some of the reasons people hate living in Langley. For reason number one, we're going to talk about traffic, bottlenecks, and everything takes longer than it should. This is the number one day-to-day complaint I hear. And that's not just talking about commuting to Vancouver. I mean, local driving, school drop-offs, errands, getting across town at peak times, highway access. It can all be a grind depending on which part of Langley you're in. Buyers get tricked because they tour at 1 p.m. on a Saturday and think, wow, this is super easy. Then Monday hits and the real loop shows up. If you're a family, your life is most likely built on routines. And if your routines are annoying, you're going to hate the location no matter how nice the house is. What to do instead? Before you buy, run the real life loop test. Drive it at 8 a.m., 3 p.m., and 6 p.m. Work, daycare, school, groceries, gym. If the loop feels tight and convenient, you'll love it. If it feels like constant friction, you'll resent it. Reason number two is Langley's getting pretty expensive for what people think it is. A lot of people see Langley as the deal city, but that's not really the story anymore. Those January 2026 benchmarks I mentioned show the market pricing for typical homes right now. Detached at 1.5 million, townhomes at 814,000, and condos at 553,000. Sometimes when someone says, "I hate living in Langley," what they really mean is, "I stretched too hard financially to be here." And a lot of the times that's pretty real. Buyers focus on purchase price, then they forget about the lifestyle cost, commuting, gas, childcare, car dependence, and how much money disappears when you're house rich and life poor. A calm budget is a part of life. If buying in Langley pushes you into constant stress, it's not worth it just because someone told you it's a good family area. Reason number three is the pocket mismatch problem. This is the big one. Langley is not one lifestyle. A lot of buyers are treating it like a brand. When they say they're moving to Langley, they don't understand there's many different versions. Some pockets are family quiet and suburban, some are busy and dense, some are more car dependent, some have newer housing everywhere, some are older with tighter streets with a completely different feel. And when people hate living in Langley, it's often because they bought the wrong pocket for how they actually live. For example, if you want quiet, but you buy near constant construction and growth corridors, you'll feel irritated daily. If you want walkability and you buy it in a car dependent area, you're going to feel trapped. If you want new and modern, but you buy older stock with hidden maintenance issues, you'll feel burned. Reason number four is a lot of people say it's all construction and it doesn't really feel like a community yet. This depends on where you buy, but it's a common complaint. Langley has been in a growth phase for years and some areas feel like permanent development. Noise, dust, detours, parking pressure, trucks, starts to wear people down. The flip side is growth can be a problem short term and an advantage long term, especially with major transit infrastructure pushing towards Langley city center. The Surrey Langley SkyTrain project is a 16-kilometer extension of the Expo line along Fraser Highway from King George to 203rd in Langley City Centre. Infrastructure BC describes it as a 16-kilometer elevated extension with 8 stations and 3 transit exchanges. Buying near pockets benefiting from long-term connectivity, and you're aligning with future demand patterns. If you buy without understanding where growth is heading, you can be surprised by unwanted change. Reason number 5 is a lot of people will say it's super far and it feels very disconnected. Some people hate Langley because they're still trying to live a Vancouver lifestyle from Langley. They want downtown spontaneity, nightlife, walk everywhere energy, but they bought a suburban pattern. Langley can be amazing for families and space, but it can be super frustrating if your identity and your routine are built around being central. Reason number 6 is perception and safety talk. Langley has a reputation conversation, especially between city and township comparisons. Public discussions question how crime severity comparisons are calculated and interpreted. What matters for buyers? Don't buy on social media fear and don't buy on blind optimism. Buy based on the street and the routine. Do the night test, park, walk, listen, check lighting and activity. Your gut feeling is going to beat headlines. So why do people still choose Langley? Reason number 1 is family lifestyle and space. Langley still offers a lot of family value relative to closer in areas, bigger layouts, more townhome inventory, more detached stock than core Vancouver markets. Reason number 2, township growth and services follow growth. The township has more than 150,000 residents and multiple urban centers, and more people means more schools, more commercial options, and more amenities over time. Traffic and density increase too, and again, pocket selection matters. Reason number 3 is investor logic that helps families. Even if you're not an investor, think like one for 10 seconds. Resale and flexibility protect your future. The SkyTrain extension to Langley City Center is a major long-term demand driver. You don't need to speculate, just understand how transit changes buyer behavior. Buy near future convenience, and you'll usually have more options later. So for an end game checklist, these are the 4 filters for buying in Langley. Filter number 1 is the daily loop. Work, school, daycare, groceries, family visits. Run it at real times. If it feels annoying now, it's gonna feel worse later. Filter number 2 is pocket fit. Pick your lifestyle first, then pick a home. Quiet versus walkable versus transit close versus newer versus established. Buy a pocket that matches you. Filter number 3 are fundamentals over finishes. Condo or townhouse strata health, maintenance history, the contingency reserve fund. And for detached, you're going to want to focus on the inspection, the systems, and the repair timeline. Don't fall for staging. Filter number 4 is change tolerance. Are you okay with growth and construction, or do you want settled and quiet? And be honest with yourself, because getting this wrong leads to regrets fast. Langley's not overrated. It's misunderstood. People hate Langley when they buy in the wrong pocket, they stretch their budget too far, and they ignore the daily loop. And if you want help narrowing it down based on your budget, where you work, and what you're buying, just shoot me a text at 604-288-7592. Tell me condo, townhouse, or detached, plus your must-haves, and I can give you a short list and highlight what to avoid for your exact situation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.